Okay, so on the David Ayres anniversary, which is my favorite regular season game of all time, it was nice for Carolina to play on the 1 year anniversary. It's honestly why I made sure to hang the white jersey up for the David Ayres game because I think a tradition will be that this jersey, this one will be hanged up on David Ayres night because, well, David Ayres wore it and it's honestly one of the coolest wins in Hurricanes history. So, on to the hockey game itself, but I do think a good item of note before I get into a Hurricanes loss was, hey, a year ago today, we beat the Toronto Maple Leafs with the Zamboni driver who works for them. Shout out to Steve Dangle, who was honestly one of the inspirations for me starting this channel. So I think that video actually kind of made me want to start this channel. So on the 1 year anniversary, me thinking, hockey reviews, they can actually be pretty entertaining. As well on the 1 year anniversary of that, I thought I'd mention that and everything and fill some time in here because, but on to the game. Honestly, I think with the Hurricanes this game, I don't really want to say they played bad. They got outplayed, but this was a motivated Tampa Bay team. I mean, like Carolina went 178 minutes of play without Tampa scoring a goal on them. Like, how can I be mad when the defending Stanley Cup champions, like, I take a shot every time I say that, get like come in motivated and beat you. Like we've had their number, and tonight they're like, "Hey, look, we're not going to be an easy team for you guys to walk all over." And I can't really be mad at the team for that. That's just kind of over the course of the season, especially in a playoff series type situation, because it's felt like a playoff game to me. Like it wasn't as physical as the average playoff game, but just the competitiveness, the drive, the work ethic, the hard work. It felt like a playoff game. Like I felt like I was watching Tampa Bay and Carolina in the playoffs. Hopefully that'll be the semifinal before the whatever they're doing for the conference championship. So the Florida will have something to say about that because Carolina has been generally playing better than Tampa Bay against them 1-on-1, except for tonight. Tonight has shown that that's not always going to be the case. And Florida seemed to have Carolina's number. So I would love to see Carolina play Tampa Bay in the playoffs. And this felt like a playoff game. These are two good teams that really showed that just how good they are the past two games to me. Carolina outplayed them, just outworked them everywhere, and then Tampa Bay's like, hey, we're a force to be reckoned with as well. Now, I think one thing Carolina needs to work on, I think once again, I'm going to sound like a broken record all season until I start to see improvement. And then hopefully, if I start to see improvement, and if I'm wrong, you guys can point out, or not if I'm wrong. And if they do and I don't point it out, you guys can comment down below and let me know that I was criticizing them. Carolina did fail to protect a lead again, but Tampa Bay, I knew from the first period this was looking like a Tampa Bay win. Tampa Bay was the better team tonight and I can't be mad because Carolina has been the better team than them twice we played them this season. And for me, it's not about winning every game. I'm not going to get angry when Carolina wins because for me, hockey this season is about just winning season series. If you can beat every team 5 times, then you're probably going to make the playoffs. And if you don't make the playoffs, you're in a really tight division. So you just need to win as many series as possible. And Tampa got one back on Carolina, which is expected. You can't expect to walk through a team that just won the Stanley Cup, especially a team that's white hot coming off a Stanley Cup, that's got Stamkos back, that has all kinds of shooting power. And the fact that we were, before this, able to keep Palat, Stamkos, Kucherov, Braden Point, even Tyler Johnson to a lesser extent, off the score sheet for that long, as long as we did consecutively, that's the mark of a really good team to me. And they got back on the board, but they were due. This is a situation for me where Tampa Bay was due for points and a win against Carolina. It's just laws of hockey. Tampa Bay was due for one. I think Carolina had a very good power play and a really bad one, if I remember correctly. And then I think Carolina's penalty kill was sloppy at points. I think they had some very, very good moments in the game, but they had some sloppiness as well. So for me, when it comes to how Carolina is playing. I would say they were a little. I think they got outworked against a motivated team, but they came back. To Carolina's credit, in a game where they were getting outworked, they kept fighting in, and they almost did get a win out of it. They tied the game up. They blew the 1 goal lead, but then they came back and tied the game up. That's the mark of a good hockey team, and that is great signs heading into the playoffs because you want your team to be able to defend a lead and come back from a lead, especially as the season goes along, because you're able to do that in the playoffs, that's looking like a Stanley Cup. And I want the cup this year as a Hurricanes fan. Do I think they're going to get it? I don't know, but I want Carolina to. This is a year for me where I want Carolina to really do something in the playoffs other than just be a Cinderella story team. So, yeah, Carolina for me, they showed heart. And for Hurricane of the game, I was going to give it to Reimer for his first period. Reimer had an unbelievable first period. Taking away the rest of the game, I think that might be the best single period a Hurricanes goalie has had all game. He made like 5 phenomenal saves. But I got to give it to Jesper Fast. He shrugged off a 6'4" guy and sent him into our bench when the guy was throwing a hit on him. He got 2 goals tonight, and Jesper Fast was making good things happen, and I do want to call things out. I'm going to criticize players here. I don't like criticizing NHL players because you know what? I couldn't even sniff the NHL. So to sit there and on my couch and be like, whoa, this guy isn't playing well, I don't like doing that really because as a hockey player myself, I kind of know just how hard hockey is, let alone playing in the NHL level. But, if I'm going to be analyzing games, I got to be willing to criticize player. Svechnikov has cooled off a lot recently, and I think he was making good things happen this game, and he's been getting assists. So this is a good sign, even when I'm noticing Svechnikov isn't his dominant self the past couple games, which is going to happen. Players are going to go through hot streaks, they're going to go through cold streaks. So Svechnikov will probably get hot again later this season, and then he might go through a cold streak again this season. It's just the way hockey works. Players go through hot and cold streaks, and but like Aho, I don't think did that as well. Maybe it's because Teravainen being out. Like maybe this shows how important Teravainen is in the lineup. But yeah, I think Carolina's first line, the past I would say 2 to 3 games, has been a little lackluster, and I think that's something they got to work on. And I'm going to compliment Brindamore here because I love complimenting Rod Brindamore. He really did a good job. He does a good job of playing the players who are playing best in that game. Noticed Jesper Fast was getting extra shifts out there tonight. Trocheck's gotten a lot more shifts. Jordan Stahl, when Jordan Stahl was Superman, he was basically the second line center. I think Trocheck has taken that spot back, but I'm not going to complain about that because, Jordan Stahl was playing way above what anyone thought he would be. So yeah, here are my thoughts on the game, but more importantly, what did you guys think about the game? This is not as exciting because my car got stuck in a ditch on a freaking Monday, and I got to get up for work in 6 hours, and just but you guys don't care about my personal problems that much, and then the Hurricanes lost to top off all of that suckiness of a Monday. And at least the Canes are going to lose on a shitty day anyway. Don't ruin my Friday, Carolina. Just gonna lose on days that aren't fun for me anyway, And yeah, but comment what you guys thought about the game. If you agree with my assessment on Carolina's first top tier players, I think their defense, on the other hand, I don't think Dougie's been playing particularly up to Dougie Hamilton standards. Jacob Slavin has really come back. I think it's kind of switched now. Now I'm watching Svechnikov to see what he does. While now Jacob Slavin, I'm like, oh yeah, Jacob Slavin's back. Jacob Slavin's playing phenomenal. I think it's actually switched recently in the past couple of games. So that's the thing, cold hot streaks. But anyway, and if you guys like the content I'm producing on the channel, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys Wednesday for Carolina Tampa, because who else would they be playing? So talk to you guys again soon.